So recently I made a video talking about a modded Dreamcast that I picked up. Now I'm going to do a full video on the Dreamcast, kind of how to pimp your Dreamcast on a budget in 2025, but I'm waiting for one more thing to come in before I do that. But of course, when you get a modded system, you're going to check out the library of games, and so many classics on the Dreamcast. I already played through and beat Shenmue again. I probably will beat Shenmue 2 again very soon on the Dreamcast. But the cool thing about these old systems is that there's a huge homebrew community of talented individuals that are making games for these systems. And since I just recently got a modded Dreamcast, a lot of these games have completely passed me by. The game we're going to be talking about today released about a year or two ago. And it's a game that actually released on modern platforms, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection, something that I absolutely loved. The Dreamcast version of however, though, is obviously a fan-made project, and it has so many cool additional things that are exclusive to the Dreamcast version of this that I just have to share this with you guys. I know it's not exactly new, but it's new to me, and I feel like it'll be new to some of you guys as well. So let's take a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection for the Dreamcast, and by the end of this video, you're going to want to play this. All right, so here's the menu for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection for the Sega Dreamcast. And the thing that jumps out at me immediately is just presentation on this. The presentation is absolutely top-notch. You actually have VMU icons that pop up depending on which system you choose as well, which I think is just super cool. A very nice little touch. You have a intro cutscene that plays the iconic Ninja Turtles theme song as well. Just very cool stuff. So once you get into the actual games itself, you see here, you have the Super Nintendo games, you have the NES games, you have the Game Boy games, you have the Sega Genesis games, and then you have some VHS bonus features. So this is packed with content that's not available on the retail Cowabunga release. And this is running on a Sega Dreamcast. I have the CDI running on my GDMU modded Dreamcast. You could burn this on a disc as well. So very easy to get set up into this. So let's just go through the different systems and we'll look at the games that are on here and plus the bonus features and take a look at the emulation itself. We'll start off with the Game Boy, because I mean that's the weakest system out of the systems that are available to us. You can see here once again the presentation continues on. We have the PAL version of Fall of the Foot Clan, the NTSCU version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the NTSC version of Fall of the Foot Clan. We have the PAL version of Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles 2, Back from the Sewers. You have the PAL version of Ninja Turtles 3, and then you have some additional bonus features. And the bonus features are always like a really cool surprise as far as what you get, and you'll see with some of the other systems you get some really cool stuff. But you got the Spectrum version of TMHT, the coin op, and then you have the ZX Spectrum version of Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles as well. Very cool stuff. Games that you've probably never played, I've sure as hell never played, and they don't play the best or anything like that, but it's still fun to kind of visit these, you know, potentially for the first time. So let's just take a look at some emulation here for the Game Boy running on our Dreamcast system. And you can see, like, look at this. They even put like fun stuff like this, like how you do things, how to get back to the in-game return to main menu system. Like, just so awesome. We can hit more info as well, get some additional things on the game itself, so that way you are versed in what is here. The instruction book, you can view the manual. This is awesome. I don't think you understand just like how cool this is to have all of this stuff on, you know, what's essentially a homebrew Dreamcast game. And I think that really makes this just stand out like far, far from the crowd. So like I said, let's take a look at the actual emulation of the game itself so you can see how it runs on the Dreamcast. It's Game Boy. I mean, you know, Game Boy isn't exactly the most difficult thing in the world to run, especially on, you know, more complex hardware. And it's pizza time, baby. I might get some pizza for lunch today. I have a hankering for some pizza. You can see here we can even do VMU support, and there is a Fall of the Foot Clan logo on my VMU right now. We can access the VMU to have it saved to here should we want to do that. And then you could see, like, hey, it's Ninja Turtles. Looks good. Plays good. You know, the game itself isn't exactly the greatest thing in the world, but I think it's better than people give it credit for. I think the Game Boy games are actually, you know, pretty fun, especially for what they are. You could definitely get some enjoyment out of them. You know, obviously you're not getting the multiplayer aspect of it, which is a big portion of beat 'em up games for, you know, the Game Boy, but I think this is a super cool game. And you can see now we've gone back to the main menu by hitting the hotkeys on it, and we are back at our main menu. So let's check out another system now, and we can see kind of how things are going. Let's go over to the NES. Now, over on the NES side of things, you know, you have a variety of Turtle games. We have the original game. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Very underrated game, I feel. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project. We have Tournament Fighters as well. So the 4 games that you would expect from here. And we'll go ahead and check out some of the emulation on the NES side of things. Now, this is using emulators, of course. And once again, you can see things like additional, you know, information, instruction books, stuff like that. So whatever you need, like, there it is in here, and you can access it. I really like the second game. You know, the second game was obviously the arcade port of the first arcade game to the NES, but I think they did a hell of a job with it. Like, I get, like, the first game is very divisive because it was very different, like go ninja, go, like little things like that just bring the presentation to a whole new level, you know, just a whole new level for me, and just make it so awesome. And you could see here just right off the rip, like, this looks very good. This looks very good, very crisp, no input lag, no issues like that or anything. And once again, like, you could play this on your Dreamcast and so much more. There are so many more games here to play. So let's check out some more games. So over on the Genesis side of things is where things get very, very interesting for this. So, of course, you have the classic Hyperstone Heist for the Genesis, but then you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of Rage Remix, which is a ROM hack of Streets of Rage 2. Then you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of Rage The Final Shell Shock, which is another ROM hack. Then you have Tournament Fighters, of course, and you have the bonus games as well. And the bonus things are very, very cool for this. So you have Hyperstone Heist Remixed for the Dreamcast, which is an open bore game that is a beat 'em up engine that they use for a lot of things. And then you have a demo for a Dreamcast Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Lost in Space demo. Now, you know, we're just going to take a look at the original Genesis games because I feel like, you know, that's what people kind of recognize, you know, Hyperstone Heist, so you could see just how the emulation is on this. But I love all these bonus features, man. I think it's just so cool just having this additional content in here. You can do save states in this as well, which is very cool. Obviously, you know, there isn't a general emulator that is being used for this, so some systems you can do save states on, some you can't. It's not built into the software itself like you see with more modern releases. It's more contingent on the emulator itself, because this is the Sega freaking Dreamcast. We're not on a modern platform. We're on something from 1999, which is still awesome, and it still rules. So we will take a look here at the iconic Hyperstone Heist for the Sega Genesis. And, you know, right off the jump, everything is looking pretty damn good to me. The intro cutscene, and now we're in good old New York City sewers. Music sounds good. Game itself feels good. Like, this is just so cool. I can't, like, explain how cool this is and how much I genuinely think this is one of the coolest, like, ROM hack collections I've ever seen. I guess because I love the original game so much that it makes it, you know, a bit more sentimental. But even if you're just like a casual Turtles fan who has a Dreamcast, like, you could burn this onto a disc and then have access to all of this stuff. and it's awesome, and it works great. So let's check out the final system and then some of the additional things that are on this collection. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the Genesis actually has some interesting features where you can do video options on here as well if you wanted to do that. Some line scrolling, if you're into that. You could render at v-blank start. You could display the debug menu. You know, just basic little things, but something I did want to include in this video. And then we have the Super Nintendo games to take a look at. So we have the iconic Turtles in Time, we have Tournament Fighters, and then we have some bonus things to take a look at here, which the PAL versions of both of these games. So nothing too crazy on the Super Nintendo side of things. But if you know anything about the Dreamcast, Super Nintendo emulation, like, it isn't perfect. And you'll actually see it with Turtles in Time. It's definitely playable, don't get me wrong, and I've actually had quite a good time playing it, but I wouldn't say it's the optimal way to play the game, just because of the fact that, you know, Super Nintendo emulation, for whatever reason, just isn't up to snuff on the Dreamcast. Now, could that change over time? I'm sure it could. I'm sure that if somebody wanted to put in the time and the effort to, you know, work on the Super Nintendo emulator, like, we're seeing amazing things on the N64 side of things with Super Nintendo emulation. But it's definitely playable, and it's definitely, you know, a good enough experience, considering that this is a fan-made project. Like, this isn't Konami making this. This is, you know, if fans, passionate fans of the Dreamcast, allowing people to play classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game with a great coat of paint. So you can see, you know, it's definitely playable. It's a little jank at times. There'll be some slowdown at times as well when things get a little bit crazy, but it is more than playable, and it's still a very fun way to play this game, and it looks great. You know, it looks very clean, very crisp, just what you would expect. This does have some, you know, interesting graphical effects in the game as well. So to see this even, you know, performing as well as it does on the Sega Dreamcast, I think is very impressive. But we're not done yet, folks. We've got additional stuff here that, if you are a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, diehard, this is where the good stuff is. All right, so I saved what I feel is the best for last, and that is the videos section of the Cowabunga collection. You literally have VHSs of Ninja Turtle stuff. We have Turtle Tracks, Season 1, Episode 1. Enter the Shredder, Season 1, Episode 2. We have the making, presented by Pizza Hut, of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Coming Out of Their Shells tour. We have the Vanilla Ice Ninja Rap. We have music videos for the movie. We have Turtle Power Partners in Crime. I don't even know what that is. And then there's bonus stuff in the bonus section of this as well. Cowabunga Dudes, Bad Apple Audio, Super Turtles. This is so awesome. I don't think you understand how awesome this is. And, like, you could sit here and just you know, pull it up and play the video, and it's playing on a Sega Dreamcast. Obviously, I don't want to get a copyright claim here, so we're going to cut it short, but I did want to show you that it did indeed work. I guess, you know, maybe the Pizza Hut VHS we could take a little bit of a look at here as far as video quality is concerned, because, I mean, Pizza Hut's got enough problems going on right now. You know, I would love a stuffed crust pepperoni pizza, but, like, Pizza Hut isn't around me, which is kind of crazy. But you can see, like, it's obviously VHS quality, but this is on a Sega Dreamcast, on a compilation of various Ninja Turtle games for the Sega Dreamcast. Like, this is just so awesome to me. This is so awesome. I absolutely love this collection. And if you own a Dreamcast, you owe it to yourself to play this on your Dreamcast. Like, there is no excuse. There is no excuse. If you have a modded Dreamcast, download the CDI. It's free. If you have a non-modded Dreamcast, but you can play burn discs, burn it on a disc. It's free. There are Etsy sellers on here, you know, on the internet that do sell this with a disc and a jewel case and all that sort of stuff. The creator of this ROM hack does not want people to do that. A lot of people don't want people to do things like that because, you know, it kind of that's not what it's intended for. It's intended for the community. But this is absolutely incredible. I absolutely love this. I know it's not necessarily new or anything like that, but it's new to me, and I feel like it'll be new to a lot of people as well. So let me know in the comment section down below, have you checked this out? And if you have checked it out, what do you think about it? And if you haven't checked it out, what the hell are you waiting for? Unless you don't have a Dreamcast, you need to play this. You need to have this. It's freaking awesome. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.